now we are finally live. I was running a little bit late, doing some last minute other stuff. Today's stream might not be like 8-hour stream, might be a little bit shorter one, but I'm definitely gonna play some live arena and we can talk about the recent events and so on. Wait, what is it giving to me? Oh, okay, some new event, I guess. Anyway, I did a little bit change in my gear. I think I mentioned in my last video, but I put my Wukong back to support build. He doesn't really have, you know, my best stuff. I haven't really gotten all the way to chaos dusting him, and Armans obviously has my best pieces, but I have him in support build again, and I have Xena in nuke build again, and we'll go with this. We'll see what happens. The 5-star amulet kind of sucks, but I rather have her in stone skin than not. Getting those 4-piece stone skin on nukers is just so big deal. You really want to get it on every nuker. I was looking at my nukers and I was thinking that if I could do 4-piece stone skin on Eva, I would use her instead of like somebody else. At this point I'm literally looking at the nukers based on if I can get 4-piece stone skin on them or not. It's that big deal. Not like every nuker, but the ones that I might use. What do you mean, am I still doing it? Are you like not impressed by the multipliers, or what do you mean, Hunter? Okay, I'll show you where I am at the Mario's missions. I'm not super far, I'm not gonna lie. I kind of I'm not super proud about it, but you know, I've had like 2 clan swaps in the recent months, and you know, then the fusions, and I couldn't really do it as fast as possible, and I got stuck multiple times that I had to wait like 1 week that I can do a mission, and then I can do like 2 missions, and wait another week. I got royally screwed, so I still have like 30 missions left, and I need to wait for the Sunday void tower until I can progress. But yeah. I'm still gonna go for the fusion. I think actually... Yeah, I do have... No, actually I don't. Okay, never mind. I was gonna say that I have Demon Spawn Faction Guardians maxed. I have a funny story here. I actually did have it maxed, but then I empowered my Duchess and it wasn't anymore. But I kind of weighed the options and I decided to empower her. But I always try to go for them just for Faction Guardians, possibly. That's kind of my... ammo, but there's many fusions that I wasn't able to complete, so maybe many is not the right word, but multiple. My summer car, I have no idea what kind of game that is. Like, it's literally a driving game or it's something completely different, and the name is like misleading. Never heard about that. And you know, some other people might say that you don't want to skip those fusions because they might get buffed. And there's always the chance, but I will say one thing, you know, last year Plarium was not doing any fusions. And they kept saying literally that we're gonna do, I mean, not fusions, I mean buffs. And they literally kept answering to content creators that we're gonna do buffs next year. That was their response since like, since last summer until the next year, that we're gonna get more of those next year. But many of the, like, I feel like the buffs that we got this year, they haven't really even been that that useful. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like it's kind of people always get disappointed by all of the buffs that we got because none of them were really that big deal. But yeah, they could always get buffed. There's always that, but for me it's mainly the Faction Guardians. Okay, we're starting out with a pretty not the best matchup. He got both UDK and Narcissus as the first 2 picks. I'm I would bet that this guy is familiar with me. That's kind of gonna screw with me because my 2 main nukers are kind of kind of cucked here. But maybe we can deal with the UDK with the support Wukong. Though Lazarus Lockout is gonna have a fun time with the squishy Wukong in my team. And where else am I gonna go with? I can't exactly, you know, protect them. Should I go for a speed team? I feel like I'm giving up already. I can't really protect my Ronda with like a Necret or anything like that. I think we're gonna go with Duchess. At least we got the Armans first pick, so we got that going for us. I might resort to banning... Well, let's see what he does first, but probably I might actually go for one of the nukers. Okay, Warlord. I still kind of feel banning the nukers, to be honest. I think we're gonna go for the Narcissus ban. Since we have the Duchess, I mean, we have Bolster and we're gonna get destroyed, so... Not a great matchup for me. I doubt my Wukong is faster than his Warlord either. Armans might have been, but not my Wukong. I'm still trying to have enough accuracy to polymorph resistance UDK, so I'm not really going full speed on him, and he kind of has my secondary or like tertiary items. But yeah, I think I'm already kind of assigned that the first battle will be lost. I think, you know, Marius in this matchup would be totally doable. It would be super fun to run this battle with Marius, and I think we could take it pretty easily, but now it's kind of looking bad. Not only would Marius be slightly tanky, oh, holy moly, he almost one-shotted my Duchess. Not only would it be slightly tanky, do I even want to kill it? It's just gonna get revived by Angora, you know. I probably do though. But, you know, we could do the A1 through the lockout and so on, and it would be more threatening than this. Yeah, I don't think we can survive long enough to get the cooldowns back on the Wukong and actually do something with Rotos there. Marius almost one-shot me, that's kind of scary. I mean, the Lazarus. Ah, almost. If we could kill it with one hit of that A1, maybe that would have been okay. Okay. I knew it from the pics already. I literally can't do anything about that. Moving on. Yeah, what's up, Nathan? I'm good. Yeah, Guinevere buff was good. Sadly, I don't happen to have 4-piece stone skin on Eva. I would gear her if I had it, but I don't. Why Rotos versus UDK? Literally because I don't have any other champions. That's why that guy did Narcissus and UDK as the first 2 picks, because he knows that my 2 nukers are Narcissus and Rotos, and if I don't have them, then I'm gonna use like Staldus or Helicat as a nuker and so on, so I don't have any other nukers that I can use. But we'll get Marius soon, so I think that will be pretty good. Not going for a super long live stream today. We'll see how long it lasts, but I possibly have some other video that I'm planning to do with somebody. I don't want to spoil it yet, but there will be an interesting video today. I'll try to do it fast and get it live today. But yeah, I'm gonna cancel the stream as soon as somebody comes online so we can make a video. I have multiple times, and the same thing with Initve. If I could get 4-piece stone skin on him, I would probably use him over Xena, but I was kind of thinking about the options. Technically I could put him in 4-piece stone skin, but not if I want to keep my Helicat in 4-piece stone skin, so right now I'm not going with him, but between Queen Eva and Initve, I would probably still prefer Eva, but of course Initve is maybe gonna be slightly better against lockout teams, but neither one of them is good against them anyway, so... But in future, I think, first of all, I have like multiple good defense nuker sets. I just don't have champions to put them on. If I get Marius, that's gonna be one good nuker. When I get 4-piece stone skin on Eva, I think I'll gear her instead of Xena, and then I would have a decent amount of nukers. Not really the best ones, you know. Primals are kind of or Mythicals are in big part the way to go these days, apart from the couple main ones like Taras, Narses, Harima and so on, but apart from like the main ones, or those, it's pretty much Mythicals. Okay, he picked 3 supports as the first 3 champions. We're getting a lot better draft in this battle, by the way. Now I have 2 good nukers, it's very different, even though he has a super scary looking team. And we're gonna get locked out. Let's go with Mikage. Yeah. Mikage is gonna get a turn against the lockout, so it might be useful. I don't really know yet what he's gonna pick and what I want to pick myself. What do you mean? You want me to watch the video, or what do you mean you need to learn more about the video? But Grats, I was thinking it for a few months before I made my first video too. Should we actually go with UDK? Yeah, we need to go with UDK. Well, I have made many videos that were unlisted just to like catalog the arena resets. I was actually making videos maybe like year before I started making actual content, just for me and my friends like rats, so that we could see the battle logs on Platinum Arena. But I was thinking it for a few months that I should make actual videos before I went and did it. I was pretty nervous about that, and I was asking people like, you know, Murder Inc. and Smiley TK and Rats and Tairaku. Like, I was asking multiple content creators for tips and help before I mustered the courage to do it. Okay, okay, this is kind of looking good. We can just stun the Siege Front and probably not the Krixia, but the Shu Chen. No, not the George, but maybe everybody else, or not Krixia. Okay, that's good. Yeah, I think we go for Krixia first. He can't one-shot my entire team. I mean, if he, like, I think he's probably gonna nuke Ankara. Oh, no. I was gonna say it's gonna nuke Ankara, kill her through Stone Skin, and then AoE the rest of the team. But Rotos was gonna survive it, so I feel like we're good. Okay. I feel like I'm good. Right? Let's go for A1. If we get the A1 proc, it's sealed. No. Yeah, just... Oh, didn't proc the passive. Fuck, I should have done A3. I thought that would be enough damage. Fuck. I would be so pissed if I lose now. But yeah, Rotos is gonna survive it, and then we're gonna kill Siegfried. I'm good, I'm good. Yeah, I'm good. Getting a little bit close in the end, but nah, it wasn't even close. Okay, great. Does anyone use Quintus? I think I saw Quintus last time, maybe a couple of weeks ago. I know, like in my own personal battles, I know Biohack still uses it, but I pretty much never see Quintus now. His damage is okay, not because of his multipliers, but because of his passives. But the thing is that there's just, you know, much more OP nukers out there, and usually they're tanky as well, or do lockout and revive and some other super crazy things. It's just super... it's good, but it's way worse than alternatives out there. Quintus would have been the best nuker in the game a couple years ago and would have been insanely OP, but now there's so many good ones that it's not even like relevant at all. No, not even a little bit. I mean, he's niche. He can be good in some situations. I mean, he has a buff strip single target nuke, and the damage is okay, and he can reset his skills. It's very niche. I think he can be okay on like speed teams if you need a nuker with buff strip, but basically never used. If you are 460 speed like Biohack, then maybe you can come up with strats using him. But if you are 460 speed and not Biohack, you probably have other better champions anyway, so even if you could use him, you could just use whatever mythical champion that, or any of the mythical champions, because you probably have most of them with 460 speed. Rotos or UDK? No, let's go with Ankara. No, wait, he picked it, fuck. Let's go with Datsus. Yeah, Marius is definitely way better than Quintus. And he does also buff strip that is AoE. It goes through Stone Skin. But basically, you know, it's triple hitter and 50-50 every time. And you can't get polymorphed. And then he does multiple other things and so on. So yeah, Marius is way better than Quintus. And Marius also happens to perfectly fit speed teams as well. So people that rely on those probably are gonna prefer Marius anyway. But you could, you know, George, Lazarus, there's many other options too. Okay. I think that's a nuker. Almost certainly that's a nuker, so... I think we're just gonna go with this. I mean... He's not gonna ban my Narcissus anyway, so we're gonna have double nuker. Yeah, I think this looks like a doable matchup. By the way, like, it's not that big deal. I'm much more interested about champions. But I literally have like no merciless sets to use. I'm not even close. I think I have like one half decent blue boots, and that's about as much as I got on merciless. I got pretty good lethal sets, so I'm not too much in rush to get them. And I think on general you will prefer 4-piece Stone Skin and 4-piece lethal, apart from some exceptions, or unless you're super fast. So I'm not... It's not that big deal to me, but is that a support Wukong? Let's go for the Harima ban since he picked the Siegfried. But I haven't literally made like pretty much any progress on Merciless set, but that's not a big deal. I would make a vow to never use Merciless set ever if I can pick my, I don't know, next two mythical champions. If Plarium promises that I can get like Galatir or Grixia and one good mythical nuker as my next two mythics, I would make a deal to never use Merciless set. I think I would be fine. Which guy are you referring to? Okay, can you even see other people's siege ranks? I don't think there's any point to try to nuke anyone through the stone skin. Will I buy primals on next 2x? Maybe. I mean, I really wouldn't want to. I mean, I don't normally buy shards, but I wouldn't be surprised if I'm tempted to do it. I haven't bought them so far, but yeah, I already kind of said that I have bought, like, you know, voids and other shards. You know, not often, but I have. I haven't bought mythicals, the primal shards or prism shards yet, but I was already planning to actually buy prism shards next time that Harima is on the table. But I don't know if I wanna go ultra hard and go for both mythicals and Harima. We'll see about it. I mean, I guess it would be content, so maybe I could rationalize and justify it to myself. We'll see about it. Maybe if I'm in the mood or I get peer pressured enough, I might do it. We'll see about that. Okay, I think we got this one too. Yeah, I mean, I think Merciless set is super good. Don't get me wrong, but okay, let's look at Merciless. Sure. Let's take a quick peek. You didn't see any kind of free-to-play content creator back there. I didn't intentionally click it off fast that you couldn't see it, but it kind of happened. Okay, so it's a 9-piece set. First of all, it's kind of hard to get 3 accessories and like piece on every single slot on the specific type of nuker that you are. And obviously, it will be best for attack scaling nukers since it does give you 25% attack, but even for non-attack scaling nukers, it would be great. But you need to have it at least 6 piece to really get the ignore defense. 9 piece is good too, but there's no reason to go for like 4-piece set. You could maybe go for like 1 to 3-piece set if you're already using something else and you can get 1 accessory on it or something like that. But you're mainly just looking at 6-piece or 9-piece. And that means that you can't use it with Stone Skin. And some champions like already have inbuilt ignore defense. If you have like Siegfried with 50% ignore defense on your main nuke, and then you get 25% from Helm Smasher and 25 like you can get 25 from Savage, so you don't really need the extra ignore defense here. So it can kind of be waste. But on some champions, if you are tanky, you can already take a hit and you don't really need 4-piece Stone Skin. It probably would be better to go with this set. Like on somebody like Rotos, especially if you have Sifi, even though he doesn't really need more damage, but I would totally use this set on him. Or if you just have really good sets, you would just put it on whoever. But I think in general, I definitely prefer 4-piece lethal and 4-piece Stone Skin over this. Like, you don't need to have every champion on Merciless. Yeah, what's up everybody? Yeah, yeah, I know. I don't want to buy shards and I want to get champions. It is what it is. I think everybody wants that and wants to be lucky, but and doesn't want to buy shards, but yeah, it is what it is. Obviously I can't expect to get what I want, but you know, that's what I want. You get epic books if you... Okay, good time for you to help me chill a little bit. You can get legendary books if you have 8,000 subscribers. I have like 7,000 or 7,070 or whatever. So help me get 900 more subscribers. I would get legendary books and I would get access to test server. I promise I will make test server videos about any half relevant arena champion that we might get. I would be super into getting the test server access, so I totally would want to get into the tier 3 of Raid content creator program. You know, like, rules are rules, but they have a little bit archaic system that, like, the number is just 8k subs. It doesn't really matter how, or not really, it doesn't matter at all how many views you get or anything like that. Only matters that you need 8k subs, and, you know, I might be active or semi-active, kind of depending on the time, but I'm not there yet, so I'm hoping to get 8k subs by the end of this year, but we'll see about that. It's steep hill to climb for me, since I don't make, like, you know, clan boss or Hydra or super mainstream content. PvP is kind of niche for the endgame players, and it's not the most popular content. Okay, he picked Helicat against me. It doesn't happen too often, but it's kind of funny. He got the Wukong too, so we can't go for it, but we could go for Mikage. But I think if I go for Mikage, chances are that he's gonna ban my Ankara. I probably want to go for Guts and get at least one reviver in my team, though I think now he might go for something else, like a Rotospan or something like that. Yeah, I think on Wukong, Merciless makes a lot of sense, of course, since he's tanky because of his passive. He doesn't really need the 4-piece stone skin. Even though, you know, he has 50% ignore defense, of course, but his other skills actually don't hit very hard. So, and the A2 hits more than enough hard, so he kind of could take those extra turns and extra speed. Yeah, there's like 3 tiers to CC program. I think tier 1 is like 1,000 subscribers, tier 2 is 3,000, and tier 3 is 8,000. I think it's something like that. I'm kind of close, you know. I'm in the last 1,000 subscribers, but it's getting increasingly harder, and there's some diminishing returns in getting new subs. You obviously can't have infinite growth on Raid content, you know. And I have been kind of, you know, multiple times I take like a week or 2 weeks break, so I haven't been the most active content creator. Somebody like Boots, or for instance, has been working much harder than me on this year, so I could have made a lot more videos, to be fair. But hey, I think on last week I made video on every day, so we're getting back on track. Do I even want to use the cleanse yet? Probably not. Let's just save it for later. We can only hit the Sifi, so I guess we'll go for the A2 for now, but I don't know if I even want to use that one. Maybe I want to save it. I might be able to block revive Harima or Wukong, so let's save that one. He's gonna have a lot of buffs on this team. What's up, facts? He doesn't want to use the buff steal, I guess, in fear of my Narcissus. He probably would do it if I used my Narcissus A3 on the last turn, but I'm not using it. It's a weird battle. He doesn't want to use his skills because he's afraid of the block revive. Narcissus is so OP that even if he doesn't have shields on his team or strengthen, he's still afraid to use his abilities because of Narcissus. Yeah, he's still not gonna use it. He's only gonna use A1 and A2 and can't use the A3. That's kind of funny. By the way, for once, do I really want? Maybe I should use the like. The thing is that if I use the A2 now, he's instantly gonna actually use the abilities. Fuck. Anyway, it's been super hot here in summer. That's kind of part of the reason why I haven't liked the streaming, because it's so hot always when I stream, but today it's pretty mild weather. It's only like 20 degrees, so it's kind of tolerable. Can't wait to get winter back again, even though that's most of the year and it sucks in Finland. Okay, he finally went and did it. But okay, I guess he's gonna get the block damage, but I think we're gonna cut in before the Helicat. Okay, so he made a small mistake there, and Wukong is out of the game. Oh, I wasn't expecting the Helicat to die, but I guess the kill streak procs do add up. My Narcissus has very good gear, but it is in speed boot, so he's not really going like full damage on his build. Who would I pick Helicat against? Everybody that doesn't have buff strip, block buff, debuff or lockout in their team. Just like 6 months ago, I was using Helicat in every other battle. But now, since you're always gonna pick Narcissus if you're first pick, there's always gonna be at least one champion that can do it. And often there's gonna be multiple lockout champions because many of the meta champions do it. And it's getting a lot harder to use Helicat than it was when like a year ago. Helicat used to carry me super hard in live arena, but it's kind of rare for me to find battles where I can use him, but basically every single battle where I can use him, I will use him. It's just always gonna be my last pick because I need to see if they counter it first. it's kind of good last week too, because he's both nuker and support, and I might be able to run him as my second nuker or just a support, so whatever I need to pick in the end, it could be Helicat regardless. No, but what do you mean? It can be a lot colder than -20. It will be a lot, like -20 is like, it can be like much more than -40, but let's say something like -30 is very normal on winter. But for me on summer, if it's like 25 degrees, that's honestly too much. I don't really like it, so I prefer like 15 to 20 degrees. That would be my ideal weather if we could have it all year. 25 is already way too much for me. Okay, can we finally end this battle? Okay, we're good. I don't think there's any way I can screw this one up. Be right back. Okay, that's like 4 battles and 1 loss. Pretty good so far. By the way, I have both my UDK and Ankora in the Frostbite, and as soon as I can get some Chaos Dust, I can even... I got one really good chest plate on the last Doom Tower rotation for Frostbite, so... I think I'm gonna put my mod in 6-piece Stoneskin 2-piece Immortal though, just to get some additional heals. I'll keep the Duchess in Bolster and Ankora in Frostbite. But everybody is in Stoneskin, but Duchess is in 4-piece Stoneskin and the other 2 will be in 6-piece. By the way, I got the 5-star blessing on my Narcissus today. Only one more and I could finally get the polymorph. That would be a massive upgrade since I'm basically using Narcissus in every single battle. +4 charge it. The issue is that something like Xena is not really that good anymore because 99% of the charges are gonna be in Stoneskin anyway, and cutting in is not useful. Not usually, at least. Probably I'll go with UGK though. Like, I'll pick Rotos anyway, but also so that he can get extra turn. My UDK might tank it. That's a very scary looking team. Can't even go with Dots as he took it, but what can I even pick here? We're gonna get locked out. I guess there's nothing really else to pick apart from Mikage. Yeah, Nakarada wouldn't stop charge it. Shamrock can be pretty good on Hydra, since he does both decrease speed and increase speed. They are very good debuffs on it, but there's many other good champions for it too, so it's not really meta, but depending on your account level, Shamrock could be very good on Hydra. I do use it. I mean, I have lots of clips because I don't really... There's not really a lot of forge gear that I prioritize anyway, like Lethal and Frostbite, so I have plenty of clips to use, to be honest. Okay, so far so good, but I didn't want to get that extra turn though. Oh my god, how many was that? Holy moly. That's weird luck at the time that it wasn't useful. Wait, is it way too shiny? I need to put my window blinds up. I feel like there's coming way too much sunlight from it. By the way, let's do a poll. How many of you guys are actually going for the fusion? I guess a lot of people were disappointed when we found out about the multipliers. Okay, let's see what the chat thinks about it. Okay, I think the light is better now too. I feel like I probably would use him in Hydra myself, just because, you know, I feel like he will be pretty good in auto Hydra team, but I guess most people are not super excited about it. So far so good, really good session. Maybe not the most strongest enemies that we can meet, but not like these were easy enemies or anything like that. Oh, most people are going for fusion. I was expecting it to be less than that. That's kind of what I've seen from Reddit and the official Discord, but I guess it's a bit different here. Okay, both Grixia and Harma we're gonna get locked out anyway, and they're gonna have a lot of debuffs, so we need as much polymorph as humanly possible. Now, do I want to pick UDK or Protoss? Maybe I should go with Wukong. Let's go with Wukong. Wukong has accuracy too, so it counts as a polymorph, and then we could go with Protoss or maybe something else. Well, maybe it's not that bad actually. I mean, I wasn't really planning to rely on my Wukong that much. Maybe the Mesomel is not that big deal, even if it can block revive the Wukong. Maybe it's fine. As long as we get the Grixia polymorphed at the start, he can polymorph the Wukong for, I mean, block revive the Wukong for all I care. What do you think about the SAP updates on the optimizer? In my opinion, they screwed up. That function to gear your champions in-game through their tool is like hacking at this point. I have no idea what they did. Can you enlighten me? What did they do about the optimizer? I mean, I do think optimizer is super good, but I have no idea what they changed about it. Okay, no revive for us. Should I go for Mesomel since it has the revive on death? But I can't kill the others anyway. Okay, let's dwindle down the Grixia. Nice, nice. Okay, now it's Roto's turn. I think he's gone as well. After that, wait, can we just kill it? Never mind. Not yet at least, okay. We can survive one more turn. Come on, polymorph, polymorph, polymorph. Oh, okay. Looking pretty grim for us. Yeah, he's gone. Protoss isn't block revived yet, but I don't know how well he can deal with the Harima team. Now we're down to 2, and the others are not gonna come back. And he has multi-hits, yeah, okay. It is what it is, I mean, you know, that's kind of tough team for me to deal with, but yeah. Grixia and Galatir are just so goddamn OP, but he has other good stuff there too. It's not easy being a go second player anymore. It used to be a lot more meta and viable to be go second player. It's always what I have been doing, you know. Back in the days, if you just had Nakarada and Tranda on your team, you were guaranteed to get a turn and survive multiple turns from the best nukers, but it's a bit different these days. We're gonna get both Lockout and UDK. Staldos has terrible, like, he needs his cooldowns. I don't know what we can really do here. Maybe I could go with Nakarada and Xena, depending what nukers he has, if they ignore everything and one-shot her. Okay, let's see what happens. If he picks something that Necrot is terrible against, which I think he will, like Lazarus or something like that, I might try to go for my Arbiter, but I'm not sure if my Arbiter is faster than his lockout. We'll see about that. He's taking his time. I don't know if he's waiting for me to say what I'm gonna do or not, but it is what it is. Okay, he went with Lazarus. I think we're gonna go with Arbiter actually. Maybe we could go before Warlord, but very unlikely. But I can't ban the Lazarus, and Necrot is, you know, not gonna be useful. Yeah, I don't know about the update to Optimizer. I need to look into it and see it for myself. I mean, they haven't really always, you know, checked from Plarium, but I'm pretty sure Zap at least is gonna check from Plarium, I hope. But, you know, there was some recent times where they, you know, they showed the download link of a hack in a video, and they didn't ask Plarium about it, so it wouldn't be the first time, but unlikely. I think Zap would definitely do it. I mean, they have to be careful with the optimizer. They wouldn't risk it like that, but you know, they did it once, so who knows. Yeah, I feel like, yeah, we're just gonna get owned by the lockout. The double lockout. If I could get some turns on Xena, I could definitely kill it, but I just don't have a lot of survivability for her, and I kind of expected to see the Narses ban. What hack? Pretty sure you know about it, or am I misunderstanding something? There's like a, I don't know if how much I really want to talk about it, because I don't, you know, I don't want to increase its use, but there's a hack that you can do some very bad stuff in the game, and they showed the download link to that hack on a video without asking Plarium about it. So it's kind of bad, because, you know, a lot of people are cheating now on Platinum Arena. It's not super great. I hope Plarium can fix it, but I don't know if it's something that they can actually fix. They have tried to in fast, like, you know, if you do Hydra battles and you cancel your Hydra team multiple times, it will force you to restart the game. That thing is there because of the hacking, but it doesn't really stop people from doing it, but it's trying to make it harder or deter it. We're doing... I'm surprised that we didn't already die. I don't know if that's like a full support Lazarus or what. I feel like he opened with the support skill and didn't go full damage. I was expecting that Lazarus would just one-shot like Arbiter and Xena on the first turn, but we survived pretty long, surprisingly. Surely we're gonna get owned anytime soon. Yeah, okay. I was expecting that on the first turn. Oh, nice, we got proc. I hope that's on revive. If that's on revive, then it might be good. Hope it is. So barely. I feel like it was so close that the Duchess didn't die to it, but the second hit like barely killed it. Not good. Okay, we lost. Kind of close. I feel like we could have almost won this battle, but not close enough. When is Marius coming? On my account in like in couple weeks. I'm not gonna have it super fast. Yeah, camera is crispier. Actually, I kind of dialed down my camera settings a little bit because I bought the camera a while ago, and you know I was maybe, you know, I got the camera, so of course I wanted to make most out of it. And I was streaming in like 4K and making videos in 4K, and I have like live arena video that is like 120 gigabytes, and it takes me like 6 hours to render those videos and so on. I had to dial it down a little bit. I'm not using the max settings that I could, but I think it's like it's noticeable if you know to compare it to the old footage, but in practice it's not really noticeable. You're not gonna tell the difference unless I show the picture of like better quality version. But the file size was just too much for like practicality. And it's not just that I got camera, but I got couple lights and I have a proper setup now. Almost looking like a content creator now if you see my room. Obviously, you know, it's all of the, you know, cheap stuff. I'm trying to be money efficient. I'm not getting the worst stuff, but I'm not getting the most, you know, baller items. I'm getting the most money value items, let's say, but it's not like a ultra baller set though. Let's go with this. I don't know what I'm gonna pick as the last one, but Staldus or Xena without Nakarada. I guess that's what we're gonna have to do. I'd rather have the Duchess with Polymorph than Nakarada here, I think. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure Optimizer is not hacking the game, and if it was, it would have been somebody else that did that to them. I'm sure Saf wouldn't do something like that. So Staldus, do we really have to go with Staldus? We're screwed either way. Let's go with Xena. Neither one of them has polymorph either, so it doesn't really help a lot. And they are squeezy, so something like Nice, the new Nice the Shadow Thief, something like that would be super cool. I really want to get that champion. He looks incredibly powerful, kind of almost deceptively powerful. Better than you would think at the first glance. Even though he's HP scaling Nuker and has some very nice utility, but in first form he scales pretty well from both attack and HP, so the damage is actually pretty high. I don't think Helicat would have been super good here, you know. Rotos can kill Druid with A3, Galadriel has buff strip and so on, and lock buffs, debuff and everything. Maybe if he can survive for a few turns, maybe it's doable. It's super RNG though. Probably not, probably not. He banned the Duchess too, so we don't have any polymorph in the team. I usually try to pick as much polymorph as possible, but he picked Rotos and he banned Duchess, so there goes all of my champions with 6-star blessing. Okay. I mean, we're still mostly winning, so can't win every battle, but 3 battles in a row kind of sucks. The others were kind of close one. This wasn't even close at all, to be honest. Oh, you got Nice the Shadow Thief, grats. Yeah, I really want to get him as well. A lot of DMs, I wasn't paying attention to it. Oh, this guy again. Not saying that we had battle with him just now, but I have fought him before. I've been kind of leaning on a little bit to the Angora Narses first 2 picks lately instead of Duchess and Narses. I really wish I had the polymorph on Angora instead of Duchess, and this would be a no-brainer, but I prefer the Angora, but the polymorph is just so necessary in most battles. Yeah, him getting constant revives on kill is actually super strong, but he also does have pretty good multipliers, and he's kind of tanky, just being HP scaling champion, has good multipliers, gets tankier over time, and doesn't really rely on ignore defense, so I feel like he's kind of versatile. Maybe he doesn't have like bonkers damage like Taras, but seems kind of useful and has good utility. Okay, so against Marius we definitely need as much polymorph as humanly possible. We're gonna save the Nuker pick as last. I think we're gonna go with Duchess and Mikage just to get 2 champions with polymorph. Okay, so looks like on the poll about the fusion, 49% of players are going for it, so kind of 50-50. every fusion can't be a winner, but I feel like it's maybe bad design if most of the players are not even gonna go for the fusion. Should be a thing that it's always worth doing, and everybody does. Like, I feel like compared to other games, it's a lot harder to do fusions in Raid. Nah. Okay, he took the Rotos. I would have probably picked it. Or I would definitely have picked Rotos, but what do we do now? I guess we'll go with Stallos. Maybe I should have picked Wukong instead of Mikage. He didn't go for any lockout at all. Well, kind of lockout, but you know, not the type of lockout that I was expecting. Okay, let's see as many polymorph procs as possible. You can do it, guys. Okay, so far so good. We got a weak hit and we survived. We survived Marios. Can we survive one more turn? But nope. Okay. Sifi OP. What can I say? All of his 3 Nulgers got a turn before my Staldos. Ah, he got a refresh proc on the Rotos A3. That's bad. Okay. Frostbite is good though. Can we get another Frostbite? Ah, okay, fuck. Again the Staldos died before it got a turn. Can it ever get a turn against this guy? I have to go for the Duchess. Do I have to go for Staldos revival? Nah, we're gonna revive the Duchess. But that means that Staldos is not... No, that was a mistake. Yeah, it's just gonna die. Yeah, okay, we lost it. Staldos wouldn't have gotten anything done anyway. We would have lost it. Lost it either way. It is what it is. It's a loss. Be right back. 4 battle loss streak, not good. By the way, what do you guys think is gonna be... There's always one big update towards the end of the year. What do you think we're gonna get? Because I was personally expecting Clan Wars to be the update that we get end of the year. I didn't expect it to be early on. That means we're still gonna get like one major piece of update. As context, some of the major updates that we got past towards the end of the year would have been empowerment and blessings as an example. So it has kind of precedent of being something super whaley and that doesn't make players happy. But let's see what we get this time. I don't have any any type of inside information or knowledge what we might get. Really? You haven't seen? I think in last, Nice is really new. I mean, only a few people have him, but I can pull it up. In last week's top 20 arena, I think the rank 1 and rank 4 were with Nice, or was that the second last week? Let me double check, but it has already seen some high finishes in top platinum. And I got destroyed by him a couple times in live arena too. I think the main thing is that not too many people have him, so I haven't seen him that many times in battles, but when I have seen him, he has been pretty hard for me. Should I go for Nakarada? I feel like Nakarada might be okay here. Kind of depends what nukers he has, of course, but we're gonna battle against the lockout anyway. Okay, let's see. He has from the last week. Okay, wait, let's do the last week. Wukong. Mikage. Duchess. One of those. I think we'll go with Duchess just to get the polymorph against Harima. But if I quickly show you, here's the top 20 from last week. Why is it lagging? Okay, there we go. Rank 1 is nice and rank 4 is nice. Rank 16 is nice as well, but yeah, only 3 people, but 2 nice in top 5 or top 3. And that's the first week or second week of him, I think. That's pretty, promising, because rarely do nukers really make the cut for classic arena defense teams. There's really usually couple champions like Taras is just best and nothing else is relevant. Right now it's like Taras combined with Siegfried and Lazarus, and that's pretty much all you see. Sometimes Narses, and that's about it. But Nice actually made the cut and was in multiple of the top teams from the last week. All of the mythicals, of course, get kind of inherent advantage in classic arena defense, since lockout is so common, and they can move to the second form and actually do something in those battles. I think they also said that we're gonna get some additions to the siege, but I don't know if we're gonna see it this year or next year, because Larium is usually kind of slow with this stuff, so I don't know when to expect it. Might be that the update that we get towards the end of the year, it's just the second part of the sieges. We'll see about that. Okay, come on, can we get one turn on Narses? His team is not that tanky, even with Sifi defense buff and Harima passive, we can definitely kill them, but it's not gonna be one shot. It's gonna take a couple turns. Do I want to kill? Yeah, I think we just need to go for Sifi first. If I try to be fancy and go for Harima, it's not gonna go well. We just need to root for Sifi through the Harima passive and the Yumeko lockout. Sifi passive is OP. Oh, 7th Hydra head. I guess there was talk about something like that, and yeah, I totally forgot about it. They had some pictures or something like that, right? Honestly, I could not really care less about Hydra updates, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I don't want to do Hydra, I think it's annoying, and I want to get the rewards from Hydra, of course. Outside of that, I don't want to compete in it, I don't care about it, so it is what it is. I wouldn't mind if they made Hydra easier or something like that. This is so annoying. He's just, you know, stalling and trying to make it so that I can't take any turns on Naruto's. Not only am I perma locked out, that I can't use any skills, and he has Harima passive to mitigate the damage, and Sifi doing constant heals and so on, but he's spamming the polymorph on my Naruto so that he can't take any turns. So frustrating. Come on, let us see A1 proc. You can do it. Okay, nice. But okay, never mind, we're way too low HP, we're not gonna leave to take a turn anyway. No way. Not with the defense buff and I mean not defense buff, I mean speed buffs and turn meter increase for him and turn meter decrease on me and so on. Okay. That's a loss. Is that 5 battles in a row? We started out so well and now it's 5 battles in a row. I think we had yeah, 4 wins in a row and then 5 losses in a row. Not easy. Definitely playing live arena. Live arena on the hard mode, it's kind of painful sometimes, even though sometimes I get surprising wins against really good accounts, but I mean, it doesn't take a good account to destroy me. Well, depends what you mean good, but good in terms of gold for live arena, let's say. Obviously all of the accounts are gonna be good, but compared to the top ones, there's like massive disparities even in gold 4. Okay, let's go with Duchess and Naruto this time instead of Angora. I don't exactly know, because nobody's doing it. I was theory crafting, we were talking about it in my Discord a while ago. If I had Vitreous, I can show it after this battle, but I feel like it could be. I would certainly try it myself if I had it. A lot of people are running like Galatir and Armand though, so there's kind of, you know, lockout champions that he can't deal with, but I feel like he could be good in the right type of team. If you like Marto's attack buff and then you can have something like Cardiel for ally attack, and on his A1 it's basically if you hit the right factions, his A1 is gonna be the, is it A3 that hits super hard. So I feel like you could make a really good niche team with him, sure. Wait, okay, am I don't mean Vitreous, I mean the other one. I mean the Faction Lord champion, whatever that is called. They both have anti-lockout mechanic, I guess. Wukong? Oh, okay, I was too slow. I don't know if I wanted to pick Duchess here or Wukong. I feel like he's, I mean, Angkor or Wukong. Oh, he didn't ban Duchess, okay. Probably I should have picked Wukong. Wukong could have been pretty oppressive and he would have also brought the polymorph. One second too slow. Wait, Vitreous is not the champion I'm talking about. I'm talking about the Faction Lord. I don't recall what's the name of it. Not Vitreous. Okay. So far easy. That didn't seem too hard. How many points have I lost from missing timer? I'm not sure. I'm sure I have lost some, but not this time, baby. Missing timer didn't matter, and there's also some battles that I literally won because I was too slow to pick, and the AI picked better champion than I would have myself. Couple times it happened that it picked Mikage or whatever else it was, and it was actually way better pick than I was gonna do myself, so... I would go as fast as I can. I think that's the priority. Like, I would build him in 4-piece stone skin and as fast as you can, and if you build him on as a nuker or not, it kind of depends if you have the gear to do it. But I think the speed is priority, so if you can't build him as a nuker, I would just build him as a fast champion that does block damage and defense buff, even if that's not in lethal, as long as you have stone skin at least. Wait, where is Armand's? I'm blind. Yeah, I would go with that build. That's, I think my Helicat might literally be the exact same speed. Let me double check. Let's go with Narcissus and Rotos this time instead of Ankora. What do we want as the last one? Duchess, I think we're gonna go with Duchess and not Angora this time. He doesn't have lockout. Well, Galatir is a lockout, but not the same type of lockout, so Angora isn't gonna work against it, and we'll rather get the polymorph. Okay, here's my Helicat. Wait, can you not see it? Oh, there you go. Okay, not on a small screen. This is my Helicat build. I could obviously build it with a lot more damage, but I'm kind of prioritizing speed and not the damage. I think that's more important. Or I mean, that's definitely more important. And I need the Chaos Justice chest, but I don't have enough materials to do it just yet. wasn't the biggest priority, because it's not like he's running around and soloing teams, but he's trying to keep my own team alive. Let's go Wukong ban. I say polymorph ban, but that's basically what I meant. I was thinking either Galatir or Wukong, but let's go with Wukong. That way we'll hopefully stall the Taras A2 for a very long time. Can we get some Frostbite procs? Well, not with the immunity buff, but we do have it on UTK, so... And this battle is probably gonna take a while. Okay, let's see. Maybe not. Maybe if this Taras can destroy Duchess in one hit, but... He does have a lot of buffs, but... We lost Stone Skin. That's not good. Okay, that's too much. Getting extra turn procs and everything. Okay, Duchess didn't take that much damage though. She survived it like a champion. Even though she's locked out, but she's almost full HP already. My Duchess is very tanky. It's like 160k HP, and it has both bolster and immortal set, so it does get a lot of healing from it. It used to be super game breaking. Right now in this meta it's not, but before the speed meta it used to be OP. Oh, extra turn. That was not a good time. And to be fair, he got extra turn too, so I think we deserve it. Oh, nice. Not even a weak hit. I think we're good. Getting some wins finally. Yeah, without the teammates and a lot of pass on the team, Taras AoE isn't as scary anymore. He's starting to look like a mortal in this situation. Okay, nice. Three more to go, and then we can be back in the good moods. Yeah, it's kind of interesting that you can scale attack and HP both on Nice. I don't think he scales at all from attack on the second form, but the first form kind of scales pretty well from both of them, which is a little bit weird, because usually I feel like they don't, but on him they do. Yeah, what's up, Soul Leader? 48% going for the fusion, so you're in the minority, my friend. I'm gonna go for it, but like I mentioned before, even if the fusion is like OP or not, I feel like the fusion should be easy enough that everybody is always gonna go for it, and it's worth the effort. But the fact that like most of the players are not going for the fusion, I feel like it's kind of bad, and Plarium should make it a little bit easier. Like, even if the fusion isn't super OP, but it shouldn't be that hard and resource demanding that people just skip it. It should be an event that everybody always goes for. That's how it is in other games. Warlord or Yumeko? It kind of depends. I mean, you could have both of them, like one of them fast and the other one in 4-piece stone skin. That's probably what I would do. But it depends what gear you have, of course. I don't know what to pick here. I feel like nothing is good against him. Let's just go for Duchess for the extra polymorph. That's the best I can do. I hate the Dungeon Divers events on the Fusion. I feel like they are way too hard and they keep making them harder and harder. Obviously I have gems because I get the CC cheat weekly free-to-play game pack. But when I didn't, I often ran out of gems, and I think there was one fusion that I literally missed because I didn't have enough energy or gems to do one Dungeon Divers. But I mean, I don't think it's too much that you need to spend a little bit gems to do them. But I do feel like fusions are not supposed to be that hard. They should be easy, something that everybody always does, and it's like a community thing. But they are so hard that people are thinking about it a lot. That do they want to commit on them, or do they want to skip this particular fusion? Maybe the issue is that Plarium does the fusions very often. I think more often than other games do. There's not that big like wait out period between new fusions, so maybe I'm thinking about it from the wrong perspective. Okay, nice. Wait, my Rotos might be faster than the Wukong. Can we get a turn before it? I think maybe. Oh, it looks like not. Okay. I guess it's a fast Wukong. Yeah. Oh, okay. I thought it already had day 2, but I guess not. If Wukong kills now everybody except Rotos, I think I'm still gonna lose, because I don't think Rotos is gonna win the 1 versus 1 against Mikage. I've been there before. Oh, okay, Justice didn't die, that's good. Nice. Okay, we're making a comeback. Two more and we have avenged the humiliating loss streak, and then it's pure profit. I mean, I guess it's already on the profit side since we had the win streak before this, but I want to get the 5 battle win streak. CVC battles are kind of resource demanding too, and a lot of people are not able to save everything for fusions, and they need to use a lot of it on them. Not exactly doing it in my clan, but I think a lot of other people are doing it. We did like 7 million points in the last CVC, and we let the other clan win, and we were not even gonna compete with them. They were too strong for us. But meanwhile, you know, those other clans, like our entire clan did 7 million points. You probably heard that there was the battle between GNL and IPR. I think everybody heard about it. And they did, was it like, I don't want to say wrong, either 160 or 180 million points. And their clan leader alone did 27 million points. My entire clan did 7 million. One person in their clan did 27 million. So, you know, some clans are take it a lot more seriously than others, and I think there's actually a lot of clans that are pretty into the CVCs. What you guys think about the CVC war that we had? I saw a lot of discussion about it on Reddit and basically every single raid Discord talking about the GNL and IPR war. Okay, this doesn't look terrible. I think this is a winnable matchup. Not a guaranteed win, of course, but it's winnable. What do I even want to ban here? I think that's gonna be a support Wukong. Either Harima or the Wukong. Maybe we'll go with the Harima ban. We could easily get a block revive on the Wukong with the amount of buffs that his team does. And we have the UDK, so he can't instantly polymorph the Narsus. Dude, I'm getting a little bit tired. I need to switch from... I don't know if it's a good idea. I might need to switch from the water to energy drink. I get super hyper when I do it though. Okay, here we go. This live arena session is not sponsored, but is powered by Megaforce. Very not good tasting but cheap energy drink brand. It's the cheapest one that you can get in Finland. But to be honest, you know, the basic taste, the unflavored one, it tastes just as bad as the other energy drinks, so it's not that big deal and you save money. So way to go, Megaforce. Here's the funny thing. There's this website where you can like, not complain, but you can make, you can request things from your local stores. And my local store used to sell a Finnish energy drink brand called Thunder. And they have a good lemon, not lemon lime, I think strawberry lime. I know it sounds horrible, but it's actually pretty good tasting energy drink. And it hides the horrible normal energy drink flavor pretty well. And they stopped selling it. They still sell the brand, but they only sell its unflavored normal version, and that's slightly more expensive than Megaforce, and it tastes just as bad. So I'm trying to make them to put the strawberry lime back on the shelves. Let's see if they respond to my email about it. Doing some local activism that matters. What do you guys think about that? There is a little, but I don't know if you guys can tell me if it's like this in other countries. But, you know, they're playing politics, and I don't mean like, I'm not talking about, you know, politics where you vote for people, but they are playing politics in Finland with Lidl and the other, I don't know what you call it, food retailers, whatever you call it in English. But basically, Lidl is good, Lidl is cheap, they have, I feel like, not every product, but I feel like they have even better average quality on their products than the other supermarkets. But we have like two big food stores in Finland. It's K-Market and S-Market, and those two are like, you know, they are like gangs, and they are, you know, they are making it impossible for Lidl to build any stores anywhere, and, you know, they are playing politics and games. And basically what happens is that, sure, there is Lidl stores, but they're always in, you know, like middle of nowhere. They can never be in the middle of city in a good location. The other two supermarkets would never allow it. And there's a Lidl in my city, but it's nowhere close to me, and I can't go there. And it used to be exactly like that in the last city I used to live as well. There was a Lidl, but it was like, you know, I don't know, 7 kilometers away from the actual city part of the city, and there was like multiple different S and K markets in the middle of the city, but the Lidl is like 10 kilometers away, and you can only go there from like highway and so on. So oh, I have tried Kong. I always thought that the little energy drinks are bad, but I haven't tried Pink Kong. I haven't seen it. I don't know if it's a new thing, but I didn't even... I think it's like a blue or gray. That I have tried, but it was just like any other energy drink. But I'll have to try it now that you mention it. But yeah, I wish Lidl would take over. I would totally go to Lidl if it was reasonable for me to do so, but it's not anywhere close to me. There's probably like 15 S markets and K markets each closer to me than the closest Lidl store, so... Okay, speaking of politics, it's kind of not directly related, but kind of works in the same type of meme way. I don't know if anyone is familiar with American, I don't know if you want to call him politician because he has done many other things, but there's this guy called Jesse Ventura that has been like governor, I think governor of Minnesota, I want to say, and he's, you know, he's been like a movie actor and wrestler and other stuff. Kind of like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Something like him, basically. They are both those kind of action stars that were governors. That guy is always saying that US has like two gangs. They have the Democrats and Republicans. And I feel like it works the same way here as far as the supermarkets goes. In the actual government we have many different parties, and it's not that bad. But our food retailers seem kind of corrupt and not going well for the consumers. The gangs are controlling our food industry too well. I think it depends on the store, but I think it's like 80 cents for Mega Force, but it's literally the cheapest possible energy drink that you can buy. At least on the S and K stores. I'm not 100% sure about Lidl, because like I said, I don't frequent Lidl since I don't have one close to me. No, not even like a little bit close. I really have to go out of my way to reach the Lidl. Yeah, I like the Jesse Ventura guy. I know, you know, some people are not gonna like him or politics, but he, like every interview I ever say about him, and like people bring him on in the news because he has been a governor, and like regardless if he's on like CNN or Fox News, they both try to like make him bad talk the other party, like either Democrats or I almost said Republicans, I mean Republicans, and then he always starts ranting about both of them, and he gives, you know, no break for the interviewers that try to make him push their side and agenda. I think that's super funny, and I really like all of the interviews that I've seen about him. Like he's always saying, like, I think he has a book called Democrats and Republicans, No More Gangs in Government, and he keeps saying that slogan in every single interview, and they always get super mad at him. I think that's super hilarious. I think that there was some news about him recently, because I don't know how much you guys follow the politics, but RFK was considering adding Ventura as his VP, so that's why he was on the news just in the last couple days. Anyway, let's focus on the battle instead of memes or the American gangs. It's a weird thing that you have only 2 parties in US. I find it super weird. There's like, I don't know, there's so many parties in Finland that you don't even know how many. There's like 10, 15 parties, more than that, but there's, let's say that there's like 10 or 15 relevant parties, and there's a couple new parties every election. It's not two gangs like you have in US. It's super weird to me. Yeah, it's 0.8 euros, Victor. You know, Finland is not maybe the cheapest country in the world, so likely it's cheaper in your local area, I assume. Oh, you don't like Jesse Ventura? Tell me about it, Matt. Why you dislike him? Georgit and Lazarus, this is like terrible speed team to deal with. It's something that I don't know, kind of the type of teams that Jacob or Biohack would run against me and destroy me with. Nakarada is not going to do anything here. Let's go with Wukong. Maybe Wukong can get a sheep on one of the nukers. I don't think Duchess would have been helpful here, so would get one shot anyway. Yeah, I would go, you know, not to you know try to infect my personal beliefs and political opinions, but I would say that not only is he funny, but I really like him. Like, I might not agree with him on every single thing, but it's very refreshing that he's super non-partisan and independent, and I feel like he's one of those like politicians on news that he can actually argue his points, and he's just, you know, he's not just saying what everybody else is like saying, and sometimes he says a little bit weird things, but at least he has argument and reason for his beliefs, and he can defend it. Often if you press politicians on their beliefs, they're not gonna say, they're not gonna defend their own belief, they're gonna attack the opposing side argument. And he can actually say why he thinks what he thinks, so. Lazarus revive is gonna not be good for us in this battle. Yeah, I agree. He might be, well, it depends on people. Like, obviously, you know, it's gonna be polarizing to some people. I think there's some people that are gonna think that it's good that he hates both parties, but obviously that's gonna offend a lot of people. I understand. Wait, can we... okay. I was gonna say, can we still win? But okay, definitely not. Maybe if we had the damage to kill the Lazarus, but not anymore. Right? Now, oh, what? That Lazarus is very fast. I think my Rotos is like 270 speed. Interesting. He's in attack boots, my Rotos, but he's very fast. Yeah, I mean, I think this is my personal opinion, and feel free to disagree, but I think as far as questioning or trusting the government goes, I feel like it's one of those things that whatever, not even talking specifically about parties, but whatever political party or ideology is like winning and on the control, they are not gonna distrust the government, and when you are on the opposing side, then you are gonna distrust the government. So I feel like often people are not being very honest with that, and they often don't trust the government if it's not the government they want, but if it's the one that they want, then you can't question it. And I definitely think that you should always be able to question the government and question the news and so on, and all of public speech, like talking about news, should be allowed, even if you disagree with that. And I think it can lead to very, very bad things if we start to censor speech because you think that somebody might be wrong about something. And I know that Jesse Ventura brings it up often because, you know, he was in Vietnam War and he's not big war fan nowadays. He always brings up the Gulf of Tonkin incident that US staged an attack against them in order to justify that they can attack Vietnam. And that's not just US, pretty much every war gets started that way, that one side fakes an attack against them so that they can justify their own attack against the other side. That's, for instance, what happened between Finland and Russia too. Russia shot themselves and said that Finland did it, and then we got the war. But obviously later we found out that there's undeniable proof that they planned it, and everybody knows it, and we didn't start the war against them. Not the first war, at least. Yeah, I think it's kind of, you know, human nature that people are not able to be super objective on those kind of personal stuff often, and they are gonna, you know, often vote based on their side or feelings and so on. It's kind of, it is what it is. I don't think you can easily stop people from doing it. Okay, we need to survive, like, for a bit against him, but maybe we can kill the Marius with the ally attack from Nakarada, since he doesn't have any revive at all. Maybe we can get rid of that before UDK. I think this is gonna be the last battle today. It's not gonna end that fast. Okay, so you Americans, like, who was the guy that said that he doesn't like, oh, Matt, if you don't like Jesse Ventura, then what politicians do you actually like? I feel like politics, it's the same thing in Finland. It's very polarizing, and just like in US, it's not as bad in Finland in this sense as it is in US, but it's basically the same thing, that it's not a competition that who is the most popular candidate in politics. It's a competition who is the least disliked and hated candidate often. I mean, maybe people don't like hate all of the candidates in Finland, but they have like a side, and they basically dislike the people on the other sides, and it's not like there's candidates are often super popular by everybody. It's only like either the left or right hate somebody and the other side doesn't. Yeah, well, if you're not into it, then, you know, sorry about that, but it's I get that a lot of people don't want to talk about politics when playing games, but it, you know, it comes up very often, so it is what it is. We can talk about other stuff. I guess this discussion started from the supermarkets and the little prices, and it was kind of political, and then it shifted to actual politics. But if you have any questions about trade, bills, or anything like that, then hit me up. I mean, this is not specifically a political stream, so, but I mean, I'm into it, I'll talk about it, but I mean, it's not gonna be the entire topic of the stream, of course. Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people do view politics as a game. Not, I don't think that's great thing, but yeah, I think it's like even I would say that I kind of follow it as a sport, but I think it's like a team sport for many people, and you know they have like one side that they root for, and then they like watch the fireworks and the debates and the dramas and so on. So it is kind of like a sport that people follow. I don't really watch any sports myself. I kind of used to watch a little bit League of Legends years ago because my brother is super into it, and I used to compete in dancing on very high level. But outside of those that were like very personal to me, I have never really followed a lot of sports. I'm not really that guy. I'm into sports if I'm doing it myself, but I don't really watch a lot of sports. Never gotten into that. Okay, so we ended up on a little bit lost streak. It was basically up and down. We had a win streak after lost streak after win streak and lost streak, so kind of 50-60. Gained a little bit points, but definitely didn't rob the bank today on live arena, so it is what it is. Right now my nukers are Ronda and Wukong. I just pulled Canterphone with 4-star soul. Should I build him? I am thinking having a nuker each affinity would be good. Yeah, it depends what other nukers you have. I mean, Ronda and Canterphone are both well above average nukers. Canterphone isn't really used at all in live arena in the Gold 4. I think they are kind of on the same level, but Ronda has maybe a better niche because Canterphone is like a little bit tanky nuker, but there's much better tanky nukers these days. But Ronda does have very good niche that if you're going first, it can totally destroy some go second teams. You can ignore passes from champions like Wukong or Rotos or Ursuga or whoever. It can be super good in those situations. So I think on the high level, Ronda is definitely way better. If you're not on the super high level, it kind of depends. I think they are pretty equal, and maybe if you're like more in the mid game, maybe Canterphone would even be better because it's a little bit tanky. Both are good in tag team arena, so you should definitely build both of them anyway, unless you have many top tier nukers. Women's boxing, obviously I heard about that. Okay, if we want to go super polarizing and deep politics, that's gonna offend a lot of people. What do you guys think about women's boxing in Olympics? Okay, I think this is like the worst take, because I think I'm gonna offend both sides on this one. But my personal opinion, I think there should be either 3 categories, but if they themselves want to do it, we could just have 1 category. I mean, if everybody's up for it, it's not like we couldn't have all both genders and transgenders and people that use steroids. We could have 1 category, free for all. You can be any gender and you can use drugs. That will probably be the most entertaining endgame if we talk about sports. We would have the most the highest level of competition in sports, of course, if people would openly abuse all of the drugs that they can. That will probably be the most interesting way to do it for consumers. But I don't know if that would be good, and I'm sure most women would want to, you know, have a chance to win. And obviously it doesn't really matter on every sport, of course. I think something like archery or shooting, why not have them in the same category? But in the end it's up to them, and I don't think we should really force a single category on people that don't want it. But yeah, there you go, there's my libertarian take. Well, yeah, 50% said that they're not skipping it, so it kind of depends. I'm gonna do the fusion, but not everybody. But yeah, what do you guys think about it if we just allowed everybody to use every drug in sports, and we would get super muscle bound, I don't know, people throwing balls or spears and doing football or whatever? That would be like, you know, where people are, people's real life sport personalities are like in-game characters, and they're insanely muscle bound. It's kind of, you know, annoying because obviously there's always cheating in every sport, and drugs is a big thing that people constantly keep using and trying to find new drugs and new ways to not get caught, and it's basically impossible to stop people from cheating that way. Was that, again, I don't really follow sports super well, but was that biker that is like won the whatever is the best competition for biking for a trillion times, and then he was suddenly found out that he was taking steroids or whatever drug he was taking? I feel like you pretty much can't trust anybody because it gives advantage, and everybody's trying to cheat if they think that they can get away with it. But if drugs were just openly allowed, then everybody could do it. And then we would have better records on like the sporting events, that they are faster and stronger and do better performance. Yeah, Lance Armstrong is what I meant, yeah. Like I said, I'm not expert on sports. My father is super into it, you know. He plays ice hockey and football, and he's kind of old at this, well, not that old, but you know, he's not at the age that he can compete with young people, but he's super good at sports. He follows it a lot as well, but you know, I'm not that much into it. I don't know if he does it right now, it kind of depends on year almost, but I think he teaches football on summer and ice hockey on winter. He's that type of super sports guy, and then he plays I don't know what you call it in English, salibandy. It's basically like ice hockey but inside with the ball, which is popular in Nordic countries, but not outside of that. He also plays it and, you know, other sports, and he follows every single possible sport. He knows about all of the most like all the new like competitions and events and so on. My grandfather does it as well. What's up, Brady? I'm doing good. Just chilling. Live arena ended and we were kind of meandering off to, like, you know, politics and other stuff that were polarizing a little bit. Maybe not the typical raid discussion, but yeah, we're just chilling. not gonna have super long video today. I'm actually, stream. I'm gonna make a video in a second with some people. Tune in for that one. We're gonna have an interesting video. We'll see if I can have it up today or tomorrow, but there will be an interesting video. So not gonna be up for the second or the next time live arena time slot. Not that long today. I think Penax does get used a little bit, especially on the lower levels than Gold 4. It's not like I haven't seen anybody ever use him, but he's not really that good. I mean, he's good, but he's not tanky, and there's many other nukers that do more damage and are not tanky. So he doesn't do anything that special. I mean, the block revive is good, but there's just so many better champions that it's not really worth using him. I mean, if you want something like that, and Queen Eva isn't meta at all, but Queen Eva would do like trillion times more damage and also not be tanky. But she's not meta either, and you kind of need to be super tanky nuker in this meta to be relevant, unless you do something super insane utility like Georgid or Lazarus does. But most of the nukers that you see in live arena, they are tanky like one way or another. I mean, I can say it, but I'll keep you guys in suspension. It's gonna be something timely and relevant. That's all I'm gonna say, but you'll see it when you see it. There's no reason that I have to hide it, but you'll see it. Damn, it feels so nice when they nerf the Sand Devil and Iron Twins. Like, obviously people want to get more shards and get better champions and so on, but this update, for me personally, I know it wasn't that hard for everybody, but it made it a lot more chiller to farm these bosses, including Sand Devil and Shogun, because now you can just brute force them and put a bunch of nukers and just farm them. I feel like it should have been this way from the start, and they made these bosses way too hard. And people kept saying that for a long time, and it took forever for them to actually do something about it. But in Plarium's defense, they actually did do something about this, so good for Plarium. And they have done multiple kind of good updates this year, like the tavern stuff and trying to make the game more user-friendly. Obviously we would want more, but I feel like the best updates this year were not new content, but just them fixing old content, and you can take that as a good or bad thing, but I'm definitely happy with it. Yeah, I agree. I feel like all of those content, but especially Iron Twins, they should be easy enough that new players can farm it. they made it so hard that even endgame players, like people that played this game for many years, even they have issues with that. And if you need to play the game for like 3 years until you can start farming iron twins, it's gonna put you so behind, and it's gonna feel super frustrating for people that cannot do it. I understand why Raid wants to make new content hard, and I don't think that's a bad thing, even though it can feel kind of frustrating. But I do think that over time they do need to make the old content easier, so that new players can actually catch up and the game has some like some way to actually get new players playing it. Damn, did we already do everything? I'm pretty much good for the day, I guess. Damn. Doing all of the daily raid stuff is like a chore, and often I have it like done just before I go to sleep, but today I actually have everything early. Do you run Aniri Ninja for stage 25? If so, can you share builds? I'm running Aniri Knut, but I can show you the builds. Wait, did I just I have to double check. I might have stolen some gear from Knut just yesterday. Let me double check. That's the issue with Chaos City, that since you have to switch gear between champions all the time, you mess up builds. Okay, he does have gear on. Okay, good. He has kind of weird gear on, but yeah, I have this on Knut. Just nothing really matters on Knut for that comp. I think you need to be some kind of speed. I'm not the expert on this. I think you need to be like above 180 speed or something like that. The speed doesn't really matter, but you could go as fast as you can, and if you can be faster than the boss, it will make it slightly faster, but it's not mandatory. As far as Guard Seeker goes, which one? This one, okay. This is the build that I have on Guard Seeker. 192 speed and then tanky, and I think I'm using like multiple fodderers in the team, and she has Verdict of Death Mastery, so I think she gets a little bit extra speed from it. But obviously other people have detailed guides about it and the speed tunes and so on, what thresholds you need for tankiness on Guard Seeker. I'm not an expert on it. Honestly, I didn't even look any guides. I just put random gear on to them and tested if it works, and do I need to put better on them. But it works with this gear, and Aniri doesn't need better stats than this, so I'm not gonna give her better ones. I'll save the good stuff for PvP, and I'll give her as crappy gear as possible. Which is, you know, it's still a good gear, but we could obviously chaos just all of the bottom pieces and so on. But yeah, I'm no PvE expert, and I don't try to be or claim to be. When I make guides for Hydra and PvE stuff, which has happened on few occasions, it's usually me flexing about some kind of very free-to-play friendly team that you can do with, like, you know, free champions and fusions. I have done a couple of those videos, but I never really make it's not content that I'm proficient at, let's say, or care about. I think that's the, if I cared about it, probably I would be better at it, but I don't really care. So just being honest, I care about PvP and that's it. Good evening, Anton. I don't know from what country you're from, how do you pronounce it, but Anton is a common name in Finland as well. What's the most amount of dust I've ever had? I have no idea. I don't keep track of it. Actually, I had recently like I think 70 something dust, maybe 78 dust, and it took me like 5 seconds to use all of it. I don't think I've ever had like hundreds of dust, so maybe like 100 is most that I had at once. Couple times I got to that level because there was like one piece, like let's say that I had boots that already had like either attack or speed, and I wanted the other stat. Then I saved like a good amount of dust before I mess up the item and get it like with a bad ascension for months or something like that. Sure, you can. I'm pretty sure you can just post links in the chat, unless it's super weird one. But if you post like Discord or Imgur link, I think the YouTube will allow it. 1500. Was it from the IPR guys after the CVC? I think I might have seen a couple of those pictures too. I think well, I'm sure there will be some videos about it in the future, wink wink, but you know, those people when they had the war with GNL and IPR, you know, they I think they had like, was it 80,000 points and 80 million and 60 million points on Shogun, was it Shogun or Sand Devil, and similar number on the other one. Obviously those people farmed those bosses like 2 days in a row, and they had like 1 second battles or something like that. So I'm gonna assume that they have many people with like thousands and thousands of dust, or tens of thousands, who knows. Especially if they do it all the time, but I'm sure we're not gonna get CVC battles like this again, and probably nobody will ever do as much points as were done in the last CVC. Pretty sure. Well, we'll see about that, but probably not, would be my bet. Oh, you're from Sweden, okay. Jag kan tala svenska också, men jag talar mycket bättre engelska än svenska. Jag aldrig använder min svenska, men jag har lärt svenska i skolan. So there you go. Men om du är från Sverige, du kan tala engelska, så det är inte problem per day. Anyway, vexing a little bit about my Swedish. It's actually my Swedish was like way better back in the day. I just haven't used it for like 15 years and I forgot about it mostly. And it's so similar to English that it actually kind of makes my Swedish worse, because sometimes some words are exactly the same in Swedish and English, and some are not. And sometimes I don't remember if an English word exists in Swedish or not. But I understand Swedish just fine. My spoken Swedish is a little bit scuffed, but it's workable. In Finland, in case you guys don't know, since we were talking about politics, it's literally mandated by law that everybody has to learn Swedish in school, and you can't work for the government if you don't, if you're not able to speak Swedish and pass some kind of minimum requirements on it. And the reason for that is that, again, Sweden doesn't do this for Finnish people. It's just Finnish people doing this for Sweden. But 6% of the population of Finland speaks Swedish as their main language, and because of that we have like mandated it so that government has to be able to speak Swedish. I'm pretty sure many other governments have minorities that are more than 6% of the population, and it's not mandatory to speak their language in those countries. But Finland has done it that way, and I don't think it's gonna change. Well, there's some parties that actually oppose it, so it's possible, but I don't think they have enough leverage to actually pull it off. If it was up to me, I'm not gonna lie, like, so you basically, it's mandatory that you learn both Swedish and English in school. If it was up to me personally, and I could speak to like 6-year-old myself, I probably would have rather learned like, I don't know, Spanish, Chinese, some big language that is not like used in the non-English speaking world, let's say, that is still very widely spoken. I would have definitely rather learned one of those languages when I was a child instead of Swedish, but it is what it is. It's not like I lose anything from being able to speak Swedish, so. Do I feel like there should be mercy system for dusting? I think it would be nice. I don't think Plarium would do it. That's the honest truth. It's one of those things like the monthly sacred shard. They removed it from the game, and there was massive outrage about it. And they haven't reinstituted it after many years. But this thing that you're talking about, the mercy system for dusting, there has been no public outrage about it, so it's definitely not gonna happen. is what I'm thinking. Wait. Okay, so sorry, I'm not like expert on Brazil, but Spanish is the main language in Brazil, though, right? How big percentage of the population in Brazil speak Spanish as their main language? I don't know about this, so pardon me if I'm totally wrong. To be clear, I don't think speaking English, this is kind of ironic and funny, but I don't think speaking English is a requirement in Finnish government. You need to speak Swedish and Finnish, because those are the two official languages that we have. Obviously, if you do any kind of communications, if you can't speak English, that would kind of suck, and you probably wouldn't be able to do some jobs. But I don't think you're mandated to be able to know Swedish, know English, only Swedish. So you could technically, I think, work for the government without speaking English, but you need to speak Swedish. Which is a little bit, I feel like, not practical, but it's not a big deal. So I'm not really opposed to it either way, to be honest. It's one of those things, like in other countries, like we were talking about US politics, there's some issues that are like 50-50 divided inside the country. That's kind of one of those local issues in Finland, that there's a percentage of the population that wants to remove the mandatory Swedish from schools, and then there's like a percentage of the population that is hell-bent on keeping it no matter what. I don't really fall on either of the categories. Like I said, if it was up to me, I think speaking Chinese or Spanish would have been more useful to me as a child, since all of the Swedish speaking people can speak English anyway, since the languages are so similar. But I don't have like a big beef that they couldn't teach Swedish in schools, and I understand the argument that since we have a Swedish minority in Finland, it is kind of good to try to accommodate them. But I think, you know, I think it's debatable if we need to go that far, and is English and Finnish enough to like work in government or not. But I'm not like super hell-bent on either side, let's say. But many people are, and it often comes up in Finnish local news and politics. Yeah, honestly, I'm surprised that they added chaos dust in the game in the first place. I think it was super good for active players that try hard it and make most out of it. Me personally, I kept a lot of gear pieces that most other people wouldn't, and they weren't really good, but with chaos dust they became insanely good, and I definitely got a lot of benefit out of it. And I think it's a good thing for the game, but obviously you need to do a lot of grinding and it's still kind of RNG. But if you have a really good piece and you need to get the right ascension, you know that you are able to do it at some point. Yeah, I understand and like kind of agree, Victor. It's, you know, it has something to do with the history, of course, and the fact that in Finland basically Swedish is like an official language. We have two official languages, Finland and Sweden, and Swedish is official language because of that reason. And actually, me personally, I am originally from like a Swedish-speaking city, where it kind of depends on the year, but it's like 50-50 Finnish speaking or Swedish speaking. So I'm kind of local to these issues. It's actually a funny thing. Here's something that you guys can laugh at. There's this rule that whichever language is more commonly spoken as your main language in the city, all of the signposts in the city, that language has to be first and then the other language second. So if there's 51% Swedish-speaking population, Swedish must be first and Finnish second. And I'm from a city where that has fluctuated over the years, meaning that they need to like switch the signpost around at which language sign is first. And often, you know, the names of the roads or whatever, they're basically the same in either one of the languages anyway. That's one of those, you know, government inefficiencies and funny, I can't say that word, bureaucracy. It's not a big deal, but it's kind of weird and funny to me. And then many signposts, they just forget to change them and they are in violation of the code or law or whatever. I think my mom at one point changed the signpost to the road that her house is in by herself, because he was pissed that the local government didn't change it when they were supposed to. That's like super long time ago. I think that's like 20 years ago or forever ago. Yeah, I think Finland, it's very hard language for many people to learn. And that's why it might be, you know, hard for many Finnish people to speak English. I mean, they can speak English, but they can't pronounce it, to be clear. Pronouncing English is very hard for Finnish people, because the language is just totally different. Most other European languages, like almost every single one of them, they come from the same origin as English. And even if there isn't like words that are exact same or very similar, but the language is still structured in the same way. But Finnish is not. Finnish is totally different to English, and it's kind of hard for both sides to learn the other one. Obviously, at this point, I have used English since I was little. I can speak English just fine, but no matter how hard I try and how much I want, I can't sound like English speaking person. I have really tried it, and you might find it surprising, but comparing to other Finnish people, you know, my English pronunciation is definitely better than average, but you know, some people you're gonna laugh if you hear the Finnish people speaking English. Obviously some people are better at it than others, but I wish I was better. Some people can even, you know, change their voices and speak with different accents, but I can't do it. Not even close. I can't even speak well enough for videos, so never mind switching accents. Oh, what kind of laws did you see there, Victor? I don't think I have been Norway. I have been to the other Nordic countries, but not Norway, I don't think. No, I have never been there. I have been to Sweden many times. Denmark once. I think I have never been to Norway. I do have some relatives that live there, or I think one. Or like one plus his family, but yeah, never been there. I know, like, I'm kind of into fishing. I know many people from Finland and of course elsewhere like to go to fish to Norway because there's some nice fishing spots. There's both lakes and the ocean fishing there is super nice, and it's a popular thing to do. You have much better fishing in Norway than Finland. You get much bigger and more fish than here. I think actually my family went to a trip to Norway once when I was maybe like 14 or something like that, and I think I couldn't go because I had like some kind of dance competition or training camp or something like that. I don't exactly recall why, but I didn't go to that family trip. Maybe it wasn't big. Maybe I didn't want to go, or I was doing something else. I can't recall. Probably it was some kind of competition. It's super long time ago. It's the same thing that I was just saying about English. All of the other Nordic languages are very similar to each other's. They basically sound like the same language with different accents, and I know that somebody's gonna take offense to that, but they are basically very similar. And if you speak one of them, you can communicate with all of them. They will understand you, even though it might be a little bit hard. But Finland is completely different. It's not even remotely similar, but we have kind of same thing with another country, like Estonia, which is south of Finland. It's the exact same thing with Finnish and Estonians, that if you speak one language, you can definitely communicate with the other one. The way you speak is very similar. It kind of sounds like Estonia is like Finnish with different accents. But then there's this funny thing that there's some words that you pronounce the exact same way, but they mean completely different things, and sometimes that can cause some funny confusion, because for most part Estonia and Finland has the same words that are pronounced slightly differently, but it's the same word, and you can easily communicate with each other, but some words are different and they cause confusion. Finnish people, you know, Estonia and Sweden are like two countries next to us. I guess Norway and Russia are technically next to us too, but those two a little bit less. But Finnish people very often go to vacation in both Estonia and Sweden. Those are kind of the two most common countries for Finnish people to visit, and many people visit those countries like every year or very commonly. People go to Estonia to buy cheap alcohol and hang out in the beaches and, you know, party and so on, and then they go to Sweden to visit their relatives and that kind of stuff. You can get to both of them on a boat with a car from Finland. So it's a very common practice that Finnish people, like early in the summer, they go on a boat with car to Estonia and they stock up on alcohol for the rest of the year, and, you know, for Christmas and midsummer and all of the holiday events, because it's much cheaper there than it is here. I don't know what to compare it to. I think generally Finland is not cheap country. There's more expensive countries, of course, but I think Finland is on the more expensive side of countries, let's say. Okay, so I'm looking at the prices, some comparison to maybe brands that you might be familiar with. So 24 pack of sandals would be 31 euros, or one 0.33 liter Alekok beer would be 1.26 euros, or 0.568 liters of Alekok would be 3.29 euros. I don't know if that says anything to you, but there are some price benchmarks. There you go. There's a link to alcohol prices from like a retail store or supermarket, I mean. I don't even know what it is. I have to Google it. Oh, it's like a brand of peppermint alcohol. 0.5 liters is 21 euros. I think, I guess Mintu is a thing. I didn't even know about it, but the more traditional kind of comparable one in Finland is Salmori, which is like basically that thing, but licorice. Like a licorice vodka or something like that, basically. And yeah, I'm looking at it, it's pretty much the same prices as well, of course, depends on the brand. Okay, let me Google. I'm no alcohol expert. I literally have not heard about that one either. Okay, it's 0.5 liters of Vakari Sambuca would be 23 euros. If this is what you're referring to. It sounds bad, you know, but it's actually not bad, and it's kind of a problem in Finland. We're kind of meandering into politics again, but so licorice, and by the way, I have personal experiences about that too, but licorice vodka or alcohol, or I don't know if you call it vodka, but it's like a 40% licorice alcohol. I think you call it vodka. It's very popular in Finland. It tastes very sweet, and it actually hides the taste of alcohol very well. And it's kind of a problem because it's a very popular drink that kids like to drink. And the issue is that it's very high percentage alcohol. And you know, 15-year-old or 13-year-old or whatever, kids can easily, you know, drink that and, you know, cease to exist. It's an issue. I have personal experience of that too, because I think I've told this once before on stream, but my parents were kind of, let's say, liberal or moderate in terms of alcohol, that they understood that kids are gonna drink, and that's fine, and they just don't want me to drink too much and so on. But they're not, you know, gonna stop me from doing it, but they want to know how much I'm drinking and when I'm doing it and so on. But the first time that I basically like got wasted without them doing it, I don't know how you call it, illegally or sneakily on purpose. I think it was my 14 or 15-year-old birthday party. I mean, I had drank before, but this is like the first time that we were getting properly wasted on secret. And we had multiple of these licorice vodka bottles. I don't remember how many, maybe like three bottles of like 1.1 liter or 0.5. I think they were 0.75 liter bottles, and we had 3 of them, and I think there was like 5 of us, and we were just hanging out in the sauna, and we were mixing them with Coca-Cola so that my parents wouldn't realize that we were getting wasted. But obviously, since we had like, you know, like strong alcohol, the entire sauna was like, you know, reeking of alcohol, and they perfectly knew from miles away what we were doing. But yeah, we were getting super wasted as kids drinking that stuff, and it didn't taste bad, and we could easily get super wasted on it. It is kind of a risky thing, not super good. It's a big problem in Finland, and I personally did it myself as a kid. Nothing happened when we got wasted with licorice alcohol, but it's an issue, and it's like a very popular drink among like teenagers and people that are way below the drinking age, let's say. They are really trying to put regulation to it, and it often comes up in news and politics because it's that big problem in Finland. And alcohol is pretty well consumed in Finland. This is kind of another flex, and it depends on the year, but they have statistics about this, and on many years Finland is the country that consumes most alcohol per capita. Some people drink it a lot, some people don't. I don't really drink it that much. I'll drink it when I party, but I don't really party like I did as teenager. But there's a portion of the young people, let's say, that drink like every week and multiple times a week, and it's kind of issue here. So, and Finland is not, you know, super traditionally conservative as some other countries are much more. It's not looked that much down upon that you drink alcohol, but it's not good when, you know, very small kids are doing it. what is the perfect sauna temperature? I think, I don't know what's the perfect one, but let's say that the normal Finnish sauna temperature is maybe like 80. If you want to go hot, then people can go like 120, 130. But I think something like 70, 80 is, you know, normal family temperature that people usually have it at. Usually it's, you know, like it's 80 is the basic level and then it peaks up a little bit from 80. I don't like to go super hot sauna, but on, you know, average Finnish sauna session, it's definitely gonna go to like 120 at some point. That's how it always, you know, was in my family at least, and my father or my grandfather is gonna put too much, and then me as a little kid, I'm gonna take a break from sauna and come back when it calms down. My grandfather used to always do it too, that he put it super hot and then children had to leave the room. But yeah, obviously I don't condone or support underage drinking. It's bad, don't do it. I think almost everybody does it in Finland, but obviously it's not something to support or be proud about, but it's very common here. I've heard in other countries it's much less common, but here it's very normal. And like when I was teenager, my mother was always saying that you're gonna do it anyway, so it's better that I know when and where you're doing it and how much you're drinking, and like she will allow it as long as I tell her like when I do it. So we had that deal after, I don't know, after the first or second time that I was drinking. I never had any issues personally myself, no like health complications or anything like that. Sure, I maybe threw up sometimes, but nothing bad ever happened to me. But obviously it's not a good thing, and always when I was doing it I was with a group of friends, so there was that at least. Some of the other people I drank with when I was teenager had worse experiences though. But I think it's, you know, part of the teenage thing that you're getting drunk and you're having, you know, relations with the opposite gender and so on. I maybe have a little bit more liberal mindset about that than some other people. I think it's kind of part of the game and being young and growing up, but I don't think everybody's gonna agree with that. Well, yeah, you know, it's stream, we don't really care about, we can just chill out. I'm game to talk about whatever on the stream. Not like, you know, not like I'm really trying to, I'm not gonna get a lot of money off the streams. That the videos make much more, let's say, but it's not like I'm a millionaire from making a couple raid videos, so. But the streams don't really make money, so. Even though we just talk about monetization, you can. But last time I literally watched a sketch clip on one stream, and then I had to remove that part from the video because it was the video was claimed by them. So I I can't watch really like that kind of clip. I think you can do it on Twitch, but on YouTube, somebody see instantly, like the record company is automatically gonna claim the video if I watch a clip. I mean, you can link it, but I can't watch it. You can totally link it on the chat if you want other people to have a chance to see it. I think the CPM is kind of weird because it fluctuates insanely. Like there's very big fluctuations on it, and I will say, if you're interested about that stuff, that I know from experience and looking into it and talking with like many people, like content creators and people that work in the industry and so on, that the CPM on like raid content and mobile games is actually not bad. It's better than the YouTube average. So in that sense, you know, it's kind of good. It's more than good. It's one of the better as in terms of CPM, but obviously there's a big limit to how much views you can get from mobile game content compared to some other ones. And of course stuff like makeup tutorials and so on have very good CPM too, but compared to most other stuff and even gaming content, raid CPM is better than average, which is a little bit surprising, but it is true. No, not just CPM, but the advertising opportunities as well. Like the sponsorship deals are generally more lucrative compared to views in mobile gaming space and content than most other stuff. Like, and you know that applies to like if you make whatever content, but if you get Raid Shadow Legends ad, those ads are generally, you know, better than many other types of ads that you might get. So now you know if you didn't, but I think that's pretty common knowledge. A lot of people seem to know about it. Do I know who Serral is? No idea at all. Let me Google. That's like a celebrity? Oh, it's a Finnish person. And I don't know him. I'm reading the Wikipedia. Joona Serral Sotala is a Finnish StarCraft 2 professional player. By the way, I'm reading the Finnish version. Sotala's competition career's most biggest accomplishment was World Championship final. Okay, so he's like a famous StarCraft player and a streamer too, I assume. But I have not heard about him and I haven't played StarCraft. And I know a little bit more about League of Legends. I'm not expert on it, but I played it years ago. My brother is super into it, and I think it's like his best friend or like one of his best friends is a fairly big League of Legends streamer. I'm not gonna say who, but like let's say a lot bigger than me, like just to give some kind of comparison. Many times bigger than me. But yeah, I think I guess Finland does have you know, it's not just esports, it's all of the other sports. By the way, here's a little bit flex since we were talking about politics. Did you know that out of all countries in the world, Finland has most summer Olympic medals per capita? I think Norway has most winter Olympic medals per capita and just overall Olympic medals per capita, but Finland has most summer Olympic medals. And that's a weird flex, but that kind of the same principle applies to, you know, many other things. That Finland is one of those countries that it's a pretty small one, but the living conditions are pretty good here. And you know, the average life, you know, the richest people in US might be more rich than the richest people here, but the average living standard in Finland is very high. And that's why on basically almost any positive statistic, Finland is usually at the top in almost everything, like education, sports, and so on. If we talk per capita, Finland is always at the like high level. So there's a lot of, you know, esports players from Finland as well, of course. Yeah, my Rotos is pretty good, and I can show you. The funny thing is that I actually just recently downgraded his damage a little bit, because I was saving Chaos Dust to ascend the boots to speed instead of attack. But right now we're at these stats: 63k HP, 7.6k attack, 266 speed, and 336 crit damage. Obviously it's pretty good Rotos and so on, but you know, Rotos is not the biggest nuker in the meta right now. It's not able to carry me as well as it used a couple of years ago when he was at the peak of his arena domination. Does Finland have a lot of immigration? Oh fuck, my bad, I dropped something. Does Finland have a lot of immigration? It depends what you compare it to. It's one of those things that in relation to other countries, no, but is it an issue that is very commonly spoken about in Finnish politics? Yeah, I mean, they do talk about it a lot. You know, some parties want to reduce the immigration, some want to increase it, and we do have it, and it has increased a lot from what it used to. But compared to many other Western countries, it's on a lot lower level, yeah. Like, there's this one famous thing that we're getting hyper specific now, but this is not immigration, but this is specifically number about refugees. But you know, EU puts like laws and regulations to all of the EU countries, and they have different quotas for different things. And Finland has a quota that we're supposed to take 10,000 refugees per year, and that's been I might be slightly off with the number, but I think that was not reinstated. That was put in place, I think, in 2006 or 2004 or something like that, like around 20 years ago. We're supposed to take 10,000 refugees, not immigrants, but specifically refugees per year. But Finland has been the entire time in violation to EU regulations, and we only take 750 per year. Obviously, there's other kinds of immigrants than just refugees, but it's a debate that is had in Finland. But it's one of those things. I'm not really trying to be, you know, neutral on everything, but I'm not big on either side. I think it kind of depends, you know. I'm not like pro or for immigration. It depends, you know, does it cause any problems and can our infrastructure handle it and so on. But I'm not like on principle on like either side of the debate. And it's one of those issues that is very, you know, kind of polarizing, that many people pretty much vote their party and their candidate based on that specific topic, that do you want more or less immigration, and there's going to be parties that do and parties that don't, or there's going to be like a party that wants to increase the work-based immigration by a lot, and there's a party that wants to increase refugee immigration a lot. There's a party that wants to increase, and there's going to be a party that wants to decrease all kinds of immigration. You know, it's a very meta topic in politics. Basically, all the political parties have their own stance on it that they specialize in, and people kind of vote the parties very largely based on that. But yeah. Anyway, I think we're gonna end the stream here today. So have a super nice Friday and weekend, everybody. hope if you're not into politics you didn't get triggered by it, but those that are into it, then hope you learned something new. I need to do some other stuff, so I'm busy today, but that's it.